The government will press the High Court to fast-track its hearing on the validity of the Malaysia deal, saying it's confident the arrangement will survive the legal challenge. Although an injunction until the next court hearing will prevent any asylum seekers being sent to Malaysia from Australia, the Minister has confirmed Malaysia will send the first of its refugees for resettlement here this week. Political correspondent Tom Eagleton reports from Canberra.
On a wing and a prayer. The planes are on the tarmac and the 16 asylum seekers who were supposed to board them for Malaysia have a glimmer of hope that they can stay.
Our clients, these very vulnerable people, are asking the court to rule on whether under Australian law the government really has the power to expel them to Malaysia, a country where they fear that they will not be afforded proper protections or human rights standards.
We know that this policy is wrong. The question is now whether it's actually legal.
We're arguing a case and we believe we're on very strong ground.
Today's dramatic court action, launched on the eve of the first plane load bound for Malaysia, puts at least a temporary end to all planned transfers.
We'll respect the interim injunction, but all the necessary preparations and work will continue.
And he says 2 weeks is too long to have his policy in limbo.
The Commonwealth is considering its options for seeking a more urgent hearing, because I think any uncertainty around this issue, of course, has the danger of playing into people smugglers' hands.
More than 50 asylum seekers arrived by boat yesterday, putting still more pressure on the government to turn its deal with Malaysia into a reality. One aspect of the deal is still alive, however. The first few families of refugees from Malaysia will arrive for resettlement in Australia this week.
They'll be arriving over the course of the week and they'll be settled in capital cities across the nation.
The opposition's questioning if the Australian government will ever be able to keep its side of the bargain.
So what we've had is the High Court twice in 2 days send a very clear message, I think, about some serious issues with this policy.
A key issue in the case will be whether the Immigration Minister's properly discharging his duties as the legal guardian of the unaccompanied children who were to be deported.
They're in Australia, they have a heartbeat, and any move to expel them to Malaysia, we say, would constitute a fundamental abandonment of his basic responsibilities to these unaccompanied children, instead of allowing them to stay in Australia and seek refugee protection here.
I also, as Minister, have responsibility to ensure that the best interests of, in my view, unaccompanied minors in Malaysia are considered, and that those people have a chance for resettlement in Australia.
The case will also challenge the strength of guarantees made in the agreement with Malaysia to protect human rights of asylum seekers sent there from Australia.
A number of these asylum seekers have very strong claims of fear of religious persecution in Malaysia. And there's also real concerns that they may be subject to detention, to beatings, and indeed even deportation to danger in their homeland.
But the government says it's not ruffled by the legal challenge.
As I recall, the Nauru option was ruled invalid by the federal court at one stage before that was overturned on appeal.
There are similarities with previous legal action against offshore processing, but the asylum seekers' lawyer says there's a significant difference too. Never before has the deportation of children under the Immigration Minister's care been put to the test in court. Tom Eagleton, Lateline.